Time for the after show, and today we're talking about one of our favorite subjects, food. Our favorite restaurants.
Absolutely.
And not limited to any particular area.
Or type of food.
Or, indeed.
And I want to start it off with one that's close to my heart, if I may. I was born in New Orleans a long time ago. Long ago. Well, you know, you would live there for a few decades. My first restaurant that has to be talked about, Café du Monde, New Orleans, Louisiana.
The beignets are awesome.
They are fantastic. And quite frankly, I could go there, and I know, it's New Orleans. It's 95 degrees with 130% humidity almost every day of the year. But there is something great about sitting at al fresco all the way down by the river in New Orleans, right off, you're looking at the Jackson statue right across your shoulder, sitting there drinking piping hot cafe au laits and eating fresh beignets that when you bite into them, the powdered sugar kind of goes up your nose and makes you cough and sneeze a little bit. There's something awesome about that. You just can't replicate it. A lot of people try, and there's a lot of really good beignet places in New Orleans. But I love Café du Monde in New Orleans.
I'm going to
have to go there once.
Going to go with a Cajun restaurant.
Okay.
In Nashville.
Okay.
Richard's,
huh? I'm curious. I love that type of food.
Okay.
So what's Richard's known for?
Well, first I'll tell you how to get there.
Okay.
You get off at Old Hickory. They're north of Nashville.
Okay.
And you head east, and like you're going to Fontenelle Mansion.
Yeah.
And it's there at the corner where you would turn left to go to Fontenelle. And I think the name is something like Richard's Louisiana Cafe or something like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, they have beignets that are terrific. They have alligator bites, which...
Normally, that's interesting because normally the gator bites you.
Indeed. But these are like chicken nuggets, but it's alligator.
Oh, all right.
And they're good.
Chicken of the swamp.
The burgers are good. It's just... It's one of my favorite restaurants, period, and certainly one of my favorites in Nashville. And it's reasonably priced.
Absolutely. And you know what? I jested earlier. You did live in New Orleans for a while.
I did.
And you were immersed in New Orleans culture. For you to give a recommendation for a Cajun restaurant, a Creole restaurant, that tells me that it's getting some serious rave reviews because... You don't give that out easy. That's something that you have to work for. All right, my next restaurant is one in Dallas, Texas. It is extremely expensive, prohibitively so, and it's a pain in the butt to get to because traffic in Dallas sucks. It's stuffy to eat at. You have to dress up, and it's worth every single one of those problems. It is the best steak I've ever had in my entire life. The name of the place is Nick and Sam's. It is amazing steaks. I don't normally like going to places I have to dress up for. I just don't. But work has taken me down to Dallas a couple times, and I was introduced one time to go there, and I have to tell you, I ordered a steak. I just ordered a steak. It's a steakhouse. There's a steak. You order mashed potatoes. There's like lobster, macaroni and cheese. It's a steakhouse. There is absolutely nothing that you look at and go, oh, this is completely different. It was amazing how good the steak was. It melted in my mouth, and it was fantastic. If you ever have a lot of money to burn, and you find yourself in Dallas, Texas, and you have a nice set of clothes, and it's not Friday or Saturday because you need a reservation, jump into Nick and Sam's and try their steaks. Any steak. I don't even care what steak it is. Any of their steaks will work. Tell them it's your first time. They'll give you free caviar. That's the kind of restaurant this is. It is completely a pain in the butt, and it's worth every single bit of it. It is fantastic. If you ever get a chance, go.
I'm going to stick with Nashville for the moment.
Nothing wrong with that.
The Wild Horse Saloon.
Fantastic.
The food there is exceptionally good. I really, 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 really like the country fried potatoes. And
so you kind of like them.
Oh, indeed, indeed. And then they have this dessert called lemonade cake that's terrific. It's just awesome.
That sounds good. See, I like lemon anyway. So
I do
for
too.
me, lemonade cake, I love lemon bars. You know, the lemon bars with the powdered sugar on top. I love those.
And
so anything that you get that lemon, that little tart and sweet together, sign me up. I'm in.
And the barbecued ribs, they're awesome.
You know, I'm gonna go back to.
One more
go
thing.
ahead.
And you can watch people be taught how to line dance. Now, I don't suggest that you actually get up and take the lesson yourself, but you can watch people and laugh at them.
Do they have fried okra?
I don't know, because that's horrifying.
No, you don't eat it. You throw it at the people who are learning how to line dance. The best part about fried okra is when you step on it, it's really slick. Going back to Nashville, this is actually one that has recently closed in Nashville, but it was one of my favorite places in Nashville. Cachone Butcher, which was exactly what it sounded like. It was a high-end butcher shop. They had everything was New Orleans based. They are based out of New Orleans, and then they had their Nashville shop as well. You could go and get andouille sausage or tasso ham or something like that, but they had the best sandwiches. They were fantastic. Their Cuban sandwich was amazing. Their muffaletta was awesome. Fantastic place to eat. It has since gone the way of the dodo, and now you can't get it, but very, very sad.
For sandwiches, Panini Bread Cafe in Nashville. Now, the BLT that I had there was awesome, but it may have just been because it was me. Because I've got to tell you, I ordered it, and I'm going to sit down. You order, at a bar,
Right.
and you go sit down. So after ordering at the register, I turn and I'm going to go sit down, and this lady walks up to me. She's the one that makes the sandwiches, and she said, "Would you like extra bacon?" And I thought I'd died and gone to heaven.
There is a quote. I don't know if you've ever seen the television show Parks and Recreation, but there is a character on Parks and Recreation who, at one point, he has a very bad day. And so he goes to a diner, and he goes, "I would like all of your bacon and eggs." The guy goes, "Okay," and starts to walk off. He goes, "Wait. I think you might have heard me say, 'Bring me a lot of bacon and eggs,' when what I actually said was, 'Bring me all of your bacon and your eggs.'" That's what that sounds like to me, because I'm here to tell you, good bacon, write it off. We're golden. Best bacon I've ever had, this is no joke, best bacon I've ever had was at a place in Nashville called Biscuit Love. Now, what they call it crack. What it is, it's bacon that's been brushed with pepper jelly and caramelized. Thick sliced bacon with pepper. Oh, my goodness, that's so good.
I'm going to close out my Nashville restaurants with one that I know you like too, Demos.
Oh, one of my favorite. Now, this is one, when I talk about Nick and Sam's being pretentious and stuffy and hard to get to and kind of a pain in the butt and really expensive, but the food's really great, Demos is the exact opposite in every way but one. It is not pretentious. It is not stuffy. It is a family-friendly restaurant. Come as you are. It is easy to get to. There's multiple locations as they've started to branch out, and they're all great. And let me tell you, it's great food and it's inexpensive.
Yeah.
How do you have one of the best steaks in Nashville and have one of the cheapest menus in Nashville? It shouldn't work.
The Kansas City strip steak is incredible. It's the best steak I've ever had, and unless the price has changed, is $15.95.
Well, and I'm here
you
to tell
can't go wrong with that, and you can get spaghetti instead of a baked potato.
Absolutely. When I go there, and this is no joke, I just told you that I'll spend money on a steak because I like steak. A good steak, fantastic. When I go there, I get a sirloin, which is the cheapest cut of meat, and I get spaghetti with meat sauce on the side. I get a basket of their bread, which is amazingly good, and I get a tea. Now, the first time I went, I was there with my friend Barry Pascal, who's a good friend of the show and just all-around good guy. And Barry's like, well, they don't have sweet tea. And I was like, well, why are we here? We're in the South. If you can't get sweet tea, he's like, no, it's better. It's okay. They serve their tea unsweet. But if you want it sweet, they serve it with simple syrup. You can make your tea as sweet or as unsweet as you want. It is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was in heaven. I was like, I want to come back here every day. I want to live here. Do you think they'd let me squat? This is the kind of place that I want to be.
They have a location at 3rd and Commerce, 3rd Avenue and Commerce.
Which is a great downtown location.
And then they also have a location in Hendersonville.
Yeah, and they've also got one in Clarksville now as well. And it's fantastic. I couldn't believe it. It was just a fantastic, fantastic restaurant. If I'm going to pick another restaurant, there are a few that come to mind.
I've got several left.
I do too. I'm going to go down to the Gulf Coast of Florida on County Road 30A down in the Gulf Coast of Florida. There is a restaurant called 723 Whiskey Bravo. Now, it's named after an airplane call sign. And the food is amazing. It is just fantastic. I'm not a huge seafood eater, but if it's good seafood, I'll eat it. They have incredible seafood. The last time I went, I had a shrimp po' boy, and it was perfect. It was exactly what you want. It was just perfect.
My favorite restaurant in Callaway County,
yes,
Cypress Springs Resort.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I love the fish. The catfish is great. I like their white beans. And, the roasted chicken is terrific, too. It's the best chicken in the county.
Yeah, my favorite restaurant in Callaway County is Los Portales, the Mexican restaurant here in town. I've never had bad service there ever, and we go there once a week, every week.
Okay, should I say this?
You do what you have to do. I love that restaurant, and you are not shaking my faith in it. I love eating there. It is amazing.
Their food is very good.
Their food is extremely good. If you get a chance, do try that out. Well, I'll let you not talk about what you were going to talk about there.
I'm not going to mention it because it would be rude, and, I'm a gentleman. So.
Right. Of course you are. Of course you are. Why would anybody doubt that for a second?
Talking about crack cocaine.
Oh my God, I hope somebody opened up the podcast at that exact moment, because that might be the best transition we've ever had.
Casey's General Store.
That's a gas station.
Their pizza is incredible, but that's not the best thing there. Peanut butter pretzel bites.
Peanut butter pretzel bites at a gas station.
If you want to experience what heaven is like.
It's like food from a gas station.
It's peanut butter pretzel bites.
You know what? I'm okay with that, because that's off the beaten trail. And I think that, honestly, there's going to be people who come out and say, you know what? Yeah, he's right.
Now, moving on, in Louisville, I have several favorite restaurants. Toast on Market downtown is a terrific place to go for breakfast or lunch. They have lemon souffle pancakes that are outstanding.
That sounds awesome.
But the best place for breakfast in town is Highland Morning on Bardstown Road. It is amazing. And They have key lime pie pancakes. They have dreamsicle pancakes.
So an orange cream. Man.
It's just amazing. And you go in, and I love the atmosphere. It's a quaint little place. Pictures of famous Louisvillians like Mary Travers and Muhammad Ali and Paul Hornung on the walls. The service is outstanding. I love Highland Morning.
Well, I'm going to go to Paducah with this next one. It's one that I had not been to recently, and it's Doe's Eat Place. Now, Doe's Eat Place has steaks but I go there for their Mississippi tamales. Now, Mississippi tamales are different than a lot of other tamales. I mean, they're basically the same, but they're a little greasier. They're probably not as good for you. You eat them with crackers. It is awesome. Go and get some tamales and then get a steak from Doe's Eat Place. Tell them I sent you. I don't think they'll give you a discount, but they probably won't kick you out either. So what a fantastic place to have. I mean, they are awesome. Just awesome. Delta, Mississippi tamales. Oh, so good.
Kingfish in Louisville, but the location's important here. The one to go to is the one across the river. It's technically in Jeffersonville. Okay?
Okay.
You go across the river. You can sit and you get to see the Louisville skyline, which is incredible at night. It's great during the day. You
Absolutely.
Look at the river. It's a terrific view. The catfish is incredible. And, plus, with the catfish, you can get a full order, which is too much food for one normal person.
Right.
You can get a full order and ask for an extra plate, and they'll bring you an extra plate, and you can share it with someone.
Oh, see, that's the way you do that stuff. Okay, so my next one is also in Paducah, and it is the perfect date night meal. As long as, you're okay with putting on a nice shirt. The Freight House in Paducah. It is farm to table. The food is fantastic. It's well prepared. It's really just a great place to go eat. If you get a chance, go. The last time I was there, I had a pork belly salad. And it was exactly the ratio of pork belly to salad that I'm looking for. It was like 3 pieces of lettuce and a chunk of pork belly that had been cooked and candied and was just amazing. Their cheese spread and homemade crackers, just fantastic if you get a chance. Absolutely take the time, go to Freight House in Paducah. It's worth every second of the trip. Totally fantastic. Have to go.
I'm trying to think about Paducah. And Paducah is in a lot of ways, it's a cool little city.
Absolutely.
Okay? I really enjoyed downtown Paducah. But the place I'm going to pick in Paducah, we used to have one here, the station.
Oh, yeah.
The burgers are awesome.
Yeah, I still don't understand why the station left Murray. That was one of my favorite places. Now, for people who are not familiar with the station, they grind bacon into their ground beef. And that's awesome. That is exactly the way you should do things. Frankly, I'm a little upset that bacon doesn't get ground into more things, because if you can increase the amount of bacon you eat during your day, I think you're doing well. No matter what your cardiologist says.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's fantastic. All right, my last one is in Nashville. This is one you have to make plans to go to. I mean, aside from the fact that it's in Nashville. Loveless Cafe. Now, Loveless Cafe is in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. Literally middle of nowhere, but it's right outside of Nashville. And you will wait for an hour, maybe 2, depending on when you go over there. All I can tell you is it is worth the wait. They make their biscuits from scratch. The food is fantastic. It is And it's the kind of place where if you haven't been, then you can't say you've fully experienced Nashville yet. I mean, if you've listened to somebody busking down on in Printer's Alley, okay, that's Nashville. If you've ridden, through the parks, congratulations, that's Nashville. If you want to take and get your certificate that you have experienced Nashville, go to Loveless Cafe. It's really well worth it. It's a fun place, great service, but it is busy all the time. There is not a time when it's not busy.
My last one may not exist anymore.
And that's okay.
When I was a freshman in college, I was at Ripon College in Ripon, Wisconsin.
Home of the Bubblers.
In fact, my first day there, somebody asked me where the bubbler was, and I was like, what are you talking about? Water fountain. Who knew?
Apparently everybody in Wisconsin except for you.
There was a restaurant there called Pizza Bowl. It was a bowling alley, and there was a restaurant that served pizza. But don't get the pizza.
Go for the bowling. Don't get the pizza.
I would go get a hamburger, apple pie a la mode, and the seating is at a bar. You're on
Right.
stools. It's at a bar, and like grandmas are the people behind the bar, and your grandma, she'll take care of you.
Right.
So you get apple pie a la mode, you get a burger, and they had a jukebox. Okay? Now, in general, I wouldn't approve of that. But the songs on the jukebox were like from the 20s. It was If You Knew Susie like I know Susie. It's a Long Way to Tipperary. All of these songs, it was just amazing. And so my buddy Matt Dacey and I would go there and eat and play the 20s songs on the jukebox.
Only you and I would probably go, oh, let's go play 20s music on the jukebox and think that's a good thing.
Well, it's how I say 20s. Some of it might have been 40s. Jukebox Saturday Night was an awesome song that we played on there.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I approve of that. That to me is exactly what you should have. You should have some ambiance. You should have something that makes you different. The fact that there's a bowling alley, that much better.
And one more.
Yeah.
When it comes to ambiance, Lynn's Paradise Cafe. Again, it doesn't exist anymore, but it was the place to go in Louisville for kitschy, strange, bizarre atmosphere.
The only other one that I'd ever mention, and it's not a restaurant per se, but they do serve food that you can't live without, Jenny's Ice Cream, Nashville.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Jenny's Ice
Oh,
Cream.
my goodness.
Ooh.
How could we forget Jenny's?
Oh, man. Jenny's, they have strange sounding ice cream flavors.
Wild berry lavender is to die for.
I will tell you right now, if you go there and you hear there's buttermilk biscuit and jam ice cream, I don't think I want that at all. Just taste it.
Yeah.
Just taste it.
They'll let you taste
They'll
any
let
of the
you taste
flavors.
any of them, and they are all amazing. It is small batch ice cream. It is some of the best ice cream you will ever have in your entire life. You will walk out of there, and the minute you walk out, every part of your being will tell you, you must come back.
Yes.
Oh.
And before you go there, stop by either, because they're right next to there, stop by either the Nashville Biscuit House or I Dream of Weenie.
I Dream of Weenie. I figured you'd mention that one. But Biscuit Love is right down the street too, and you can't lose by going to those places. Hit them all at once.
Awesome.
Oh, so good. Ooh, God, I'm hungry.
What's better than talking about food?
Eating it.
You got it. That brings to a close this edition of the Improbability Engine.